They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet.
They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to. We are gonna show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped.
And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher.
Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line, every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One tap of the app and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight.
CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
The courts will not disgrace the family.
CPS Punisher, here to avoid the chains and expose the game.
CPS Punisher,
the educator they never wanted you to find.
Punisher,
One tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. The app is called the CPS Punisher.
I'm the cape in the shadows, the skull in the night, the binder full of secrets and weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test gone in a flash. I see Tevio, warrior, due process king. Every parent's hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS Punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us, now we're the loudest voice in the room.
CPS Punisher,
Here to avoid the chains and expose the game.
CPS Punisher,
The educator they never wanted you to find.
Punisher,
The children never leave again. Families rise, we never look back. We now use the CPS Punisher.
This ain't revenge. This is reunification.
This ain't rage, this is resurrection. Open the app.
Step into the fight. You ready?
CPS Punisher,
The app you need when they took your kid.
CPS Punisher,
The truth they hid, now the truth gets lit.
Punisher,
Download the power, take back the throne.
Punisher,
You're never alone.
CPS Punisher. The educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete. Family restored. The bar is finished. The Constitution will prevail. Judges do what's right. Treason is your penalty.
CPS Punisher,
Here comes the CPS Punisher.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?
Punisher, they won't back down. Fight for the children in every town.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop.
Hey, Tiff.
Hey, Derek.
How are you?
I'm cold, but I'm doing okay today.
You've always been cold. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that
Yeah,
depends on what
well.
kind of cold that you're talking about.
Uh, Ooh, Lord, it's about to get hot in here, though. I think
Yes, it is. Woo!
we got one of your favorites here today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad that he's coming on because I'm tired of hearing you call me every 10 minutes saying, "You know who's on tonight, Darren?" Not that I don't enjoy your phone calls or anything, but well, do you want to tell everybody who's on?
No, let him introduce himself.
All right, is that what you want to do? You want to
Yes,
just bring him out?
he-
You want to just
yes.
drop him on the screen?
Yes, because I love his introduction when he does it, so you got to let him do it.
All right. Let me bring him out here. All right, here he is, everybody. The man himself. All right.
Yep. I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only 4D education service. Thank God I'm not a lawyer. Thank God this is not a law firm. We don't advocate you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private. Take care of them in private. Thanks for having me, guys. How you guys doing?
Great. That's awesome.
Thank you. I could not have done that like him.
Well, no, because your name's not Osiris.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Oh no, please. We need that beautiful.
Oh,
how's everybody?
yes.
Good. How are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Shutting them down, getting them free, and getting people's money back.
Before we start, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you, because you teach so much, and I do not understand child support the way you do.
Oh, well, thank you. You can find me on YouTube at Amen Osiris. You can find me on Facebook. I have a group called 4D Crime Boss Assassins, or you can find me on Facebook at Amen Osiris. But we're out there. I'm not on that many platforms. Unfortunately, I just don't have a lot of time to be on those. But definitely, you can find our presence on YouTube. We have two different platforms. One is Deception Stoppers, which is our first platform. Unfortunately, that got hacked by the government, so we can't add any videos to it. But the videos that we put up there for years are still there. Okay. So how you want to start it?
Just go.
Yeah, man. You just do what you do.
What happened to your manager?
She's in the back. She's watching. She'll ask you questions. Just watch the screen. Alicia is her name.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, check this out. I'm gonna take you. Look at this. I just whipped this up for us. But watch this. Check this out.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So there you go.
You know I need that picture, right?
Yeah,
So
I know it. I know what's going to happen to
that.
that picture too. I know exactly where that's going to.
I hope everybody has one of those for CPS and child support. Trust me, you're going to need it.
Oh, I'm getting a whole flag done.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was talking about that Desert Eagle I was holding there. All right. Well, and thank you for having me on. And I definitely, Tiff, I'm a big fan of. We've done a podcast before. I love your work. I love your energy. Punisher, I'm looking forward to getting with you, man, and we can get out and do some crushing here.
Yes, sir.
And CPS and child support are not they're not the same, but they're one and the same. Okay. The biggest issue, the largest issue that this country has is the Social Security number. Okay. Governments or corporations, and they are because they're artificial persons, they can only deal with other artificial persons. So what they do is they do a technique called succeed or succession. Succession is the de-evolution of title, which is human being, to property, which is the Social Security number. As you well know, 20 CFR 422-103D clearly states on the back of the card itself that the Social Security number is the property of the Social Security Administration. So in order for the government, I don't care what it is, I mean, it doesn't matter. Traffic, taxes, that's the only thing that they can deal with. And I've actually, once I learned that about 40 some years ago, I literally stopped using that number. So I have minimal contacts with the government. So what the government does is everything that they're doing in CPS is all about what's called Title 4E federal funding. Okay. What they're doing in what you call child support, which does not exist, That's called Title 4D federal funding. And that comes from Title 4A grants, which is money that is given to the state that they don't have to pay back. And then they make tons and tons of money off of it. See, child support made almost $800 million last year. I think CPS did close to that, about maybe $600-700 million. It's a lot of money. All right, a lot of money. They could care less about you, your kids. It's all about the money, honey.
In fact.
The cool part is, one of the things that really ticks me off, and I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis. There's no revolt. Everybody's just saying, oh, they did this, they did that. The hell with that shit.
A lot of bitching. No action.
A lot of crying. All right. Get up, get your arms, and go down and do what needs to be done. All right, because it is what it is. And that's why they're getting away with bloody murder. If I come and take your kids, that's kidnapping.
That's right.
And you have the right to blow my head off if I tried that. But all of a sudden, they get to do it and they get sovereignty? No. You got to defend yourselves. All right? I'm a firm believer, and I know, I've seen this from the universe. And I've seen this from my ancestors, which are all gods. There's a war coming. And until that war comes, all right,
it's coming.
Yeah.
It is coming, man. It's coming.
It's got to come. Stock up, get your ammo, get your weapons, get your food, get your water. It has to come. There you go. Yes.
Yes, we're friends.
I love it. My mother visits my office every now and then for my house. She says, the door's unlocked. I said, Mom, that door is not there for me. You come in here if you want to. I promise you are not.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what the problem is. And I talk to thousands of men every month. And it's always the same thing. They don't know, oh man, I gotta go to court, they suspended my driver's license, I just got out of jail. They're garnishing, they're taking my money. Why? You're allowing that to happen without fear of retaliation?
That's it. They have to be prepared for that, right? Wouldn't you think?
What do you mean they have to be prepared?
Well, wouldn't you think that these caseworkers and all these people that work for them, like they're crying and whining, because there was a short wave there, whether it was the media reporting it or whether it was happening where you saw parents reacting to these caseworkers. That one guy choked that dude out in the city hall or wherever that was. Like they had to be prepared for this stuff to happen. I mean, you would think, so stop whining about it. If you're, that's part of your job. You're going to steal people's kids and their money. The two things in this world you don't touch, a man's money and his kids.
Yep.
So shit's going to happen to you, period.
Yes. And I'm noticing a lot of people are now, I've been watching the videos, are standing up to them. And I was listening to you last night, and which I was very impressed with. You notice whenever they come, they always come with these pigs.
They sure do.
Okay.
A couple of them.
Right. And, the bad part is these pigs swear an oath to uphold the Constitution. So help them God. Against all foreign enemies, foreign and domestic. This is a domestic terrorism cell. Okay?
That's it.
Yeah, and that's they're not supposed to be there. Oh well, we got a court order from the judge. Fuck that court order and fuck that judge. Oh, can I cuss on here? I'm sorry.
You sure can.
Okay, all right, it's about to get on.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling people, right? Just go back to the very first videos I ever put up. You will see me in my nightgown with 12 officers and a CP. I watched all of them off my property and gave them a lesson in the Constitution. Don't bring the police here to intimidate me because you got the wrong grandmother.
Your grandma?
Of 10.
Oh, gee. Oh, damn. We got a lot in common. I'm a pop of 10.
Okay.
Jesus. You guys are populating the world.
Fruitful and multiply.
Don't feed them after midnight. Anyone.
The only thing I'm producing now is a big dust ball, so we're good. Oh my goodness. And I think, and you know, it bothers me because I'm about as loving of a person, you know, a human being can be, man. I mean, I'll give you the shirt off my back. But you know, when I was going through the ringer with these pigs and these tyrants and these evil fuckers, you know, I was suffering from everything that everybody else was, which was ignorance and fear.
Yeah.
Once that ignorance is gone, once the ignorance is gone, the fear is gone. All right. And, you know, we have to start emancipating the minds, and people have to emancipate their mind, and they have to start fighting back. You know, now I've been doing this, oh my gosh, almost, I'm going on 38 years now, doing this.
Does Tiff?
Yeah. Throughout my career, I've done 4 CPS cases, which I was successful at. I stopped doing them because they are long, they are tedious, and unfortunately, time-wise, they can be expensive to the people. So, you know, I don't want to add to the insult to the injury, but, you know, obviously we can't, you know, devote all our time for free. So, I'm sorry. But what you guys are doing here is phenomenal. And I hope that the people are really coming together and listening to this and grasping what you're saying, because it's very important. And it's a shame. You know, I mean, government, if you read any constitution, and Tiff, I know you know this, government was created to be a benefit, security, and protection of the people, right? They're not supposed to be out here making money off of their oppression, okay? And the Constitution, a lot of people don't realize it, when the Constitution, in the Constitution says when government becomes oppressive, you can alter and abolish it. But where is this abolishment at?
People are scared, right? Like there's not, like, one of the reasons that I love you so much is because you are just like me. I'm just the female version, right? Because I am aggressive. Don't fucking bring that shit to my front door and think that I'm just going to bend over and kiss your fucking ass. No, bitch. You're going to bend over and kiss my ass because you're on a property you're not supposed to be on. But anyway, the problem is that I found, and you've been doing this almost as long as me. Well, you're longer than me. People, when they see these people in these administrative hearings wearing black robes and threatening to put them in jail, right? Now, you know what I'm talking about. They crumble like cookies. Unlike me, I heard my husband tell my little protege today that the reason the judge took me seriously when I told her I was going to sue her, he said, because she didn't give her any way to go left or right. This woman, when she says, I'm going to leave this courtroom and go call a civil rights attorney, there was nothing else to say. That's why she said, I'm going to give you what you want, Miss Wise. Because after that, and my husband even told my little protege, my wife told this woman, I will not cooperate. I told her 3 times. And she had to fuck around and she found out. I'm not playing with you. I will sue you. You will not take my civil liberties. You will not violate me, period, in the story. Right. And if people would literally stand up to these people and say, all men are created equal, bitch. You're no better than me. I don't care if you're sitting up there, you got a high school diploma or a college degree. You are no better than me, and you have no right to place judgment on me, period, in the story. Shit would go a lot better.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be done. And what you did was you cluttered it, because all governments derive their just power from the consent of the governed. If you go in there acting like a little bitch with a skinned knee, you're going to get bent over and you're going to be walking with a limp for a little while. Okay? And that's the biggest problem. And it's fear. You know, I've gotten so brutal, my hostility is just, it's when it comes to these people, because they're not above reproach for me. I'm not even allowed in the court where I live at. I have had officers tell us, listen, they told us, unless you're killing somebody or robbing a bank or hijacking a plane, leave that fucker alone. I don't want him in here. Okay? So, you know, it's you got to stand up for yourself, folks. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no possible way. I mean, Tiff, I know me and you are beasts, but I know there's a lot more beasts out there. You know what I mean? Punisher, I'm sure you're a beast too. You know what I mean? I didn't mean that.
One way or the other, we'll find one.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't. The problem is they don't fear us.
That's it. They don't take us seriously.
Right. They don't fear us. Take us seriously is one thing, but fearing us, that's a whole.
Right. Well, you know what? You know, there's 3 of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, there we go. These people, this movement can't seem to even grasp the fact, and I've been pushing this forever. We need to show them, number one, our size. This is a huge size movement here. People paying child support, CPS, all that. That's millions of people. No other group that has been having their rights, you know, violated like we have is even come close to the size of what we are. Right. But yet we can't even get our heads out of our asses enough to put together a million-man march or something of the sorts. Because when you start showing size numbers like that, people are like, whoa, shit. That's where you start to get the fear from. You know, but all they think is it's a few whack jobs that lost their kids, probably deserved it anyway. And, you know, they got people dancing around and doing this shit and all this. There ain't enough people with guns. That's the problem.
Yes. And, you know, it wouldn't be hard. I mean, worst case scenario, if everybody in every state got together who has these problems, whether it's child support, CPS, whatever, government period. All right. And go and, I mean, we can get together in front of that bullshit courthouse. Or these 4D buildings or the CPS buildings. Nobody gets in. You ain't going to work today. Shut
right.
down. You know, and one of the things I tell everybody is they know everything about you. They know where you live. They know where you work. You don't know where they live. Find out where they live.
Put your address on stuff so we know where you're from, right?
Yeah. Stop by their house for people. You know what I mean?
I had a girl call me after her court date, and she said, Tiffany, the judge said, because she didn't want to do the stuff, right? So she was crying. She said, the judge said, if it were my kid, I would do everything humanly possible to get my kid back, right? And I said, well, what did you say? She said, I didn't say anything. I said, well, let me tell you what I'd have told him. Give me your fucking address, and I'm going to send CPS over there. Let's see how you really do.
Right.
Yeah, these people, you know, it's gotten so bad that there was a listing. Now, I don't know if CPS had it, but child support has it. We had the national list of child support directory of the agents. All right. And we got a hold of that. And what happened is we've been exposing so much of their information. They've been scrubbing a lot of their shit off the internet. They don't want you to know where they don't keep them in the same office. You know what I mean? They keep them separate. They really try out. They hide these people well. And, you know, which is really sick. But it doesn't matter because, well, instead of going to child support court, get your coup and go down and shut that building down. No, you're not holding court here today. And if it turns into a battle, guess what? Somebody's going to have to bleed.
Right.
All right. They're going to have to bleed. We're going to have to bleed. There's going to have to be some bloodshed. But that's the only time when they're going to respect us. Even if you look now, I mean, if you notice, they're prosecuting a lot of cops right now. All right. A lot of these cops ain't getting away with murder anymore. But they're basically martyrs just to kind of keep the people quiet. Like, all right, well, we'll just, you know, we'll dust off a couple, and then they'll shut up and they'll go about their business and they'll feel safe again. That ain't good enough. I mean, some bodies need to be hanging in public square.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I was talking to you earlier. I'm going to start a GoFundMe, and I'm going to buy me a vacant warehouse, and I'm going to put some 4x6 cells in there, right? I'm going to put some hay on the floor, and we're going to have some holes in the floor, all right? And we're going to go, and I'm going to hire some monsters, all right? And through every state, and we're going to go out there and collect these clowns. We're going to put them in these cells. We're going to feed them bread and water until they wither and die. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I'll help in Virginia. I want to arrest a motherfucker, okay? I'll go get the handcuffs, the mace. I'll get every damn thing I need.
Yeah, we need to bring that medieval torture back for these fuckers. I love watching that shit. Just like, oh man, they was brutal back then.
Phew.
I mean, I saw what they did to William Wallace. That's what we need to be doing to these fuckers.
Oh my God. I don't ever want to see my own intestines.
I mean, that was, but that's the type of message at this juncture that needs to be sent. It really does.
What can a parent do when they get that bill from child support or whatever you guys call it? What is the parent's first steps when they want to say it's a brand new person? They just lost their kid. Now all of a sudden they get a letter in the mail that says, you got to pay child support. What's the first steps the parents got to do to get themselves on the right track?
Stop accepting the mail. Mail is the first form of jurisdiction. So basically, case in point, if you get we get bills every month, right, in the mail. So that's the authority for them to bill us. Now, obviously, we don't pay it, then they're going to shut off whatever. But with the government, they assert authority by mail. So if you don't accept their mail, right, and just return it to sender, there's no assertion of authority. And on top of that, it protects you under due process. Well, I didn't know about it. Well, we sent you mails, and well, I sent it back. I'm not obligated to accept your mail. What law requires any man to accept mail from a tyrant government?
Right.
All right, that's one of the things I've been teaching that for years. Because CPS is federally funded and child support is federally funded, you notice you get mail with a zip code on it, right? All right, zip codes are for the corporate United States. So when you accept mail with a zip code on it, you're stating that you are in the municipal purviews of the bylaws of the District of Columbia. You're stating you're a United States citizen. And I'm going to say this to everybody, and I love my country. I've served this country. I am not a United States citizen. All right. Under Corpus Juris Secundum, subsection 883, a United States citizen is a corporation. It's an artificial person. All right. As a corporation, because it's an artificial person, it has no rights. Okay. Being a citizen is the worst thing that you can actually do. That's why if you look at any of those applications, are you a United States citizen? And then they require a social security number, which can only be issued to United States citizens. So then they identify you by that number, which the Social Security Administration says you can't identify a human being by a social security number because there's no physical attributes to it. But the government has to accept that number because that's the only thing that they can deal with. They cannot deal with us as the tangible. That is a case law that has been used by the federal, state, district courts all throughout since early 1700s.
So stop taking mail is the first step in them fighting this thing.
Now, when in the beginning, if there's nothing going on and the government sends you something, all right, the worst thing you can do is accept mail from them. Now, if you've already 99.9% of the people are already in the system, so at that juncture, it really won't matter. But that's believe it or not, I think for the last 30 some years, I've kept so many people out of the system by just send it back. Oh man, what about I send it back? Every time they send it back. Well, what happens if they bring it? They knock on the door. You're not obligated to accept documents from anybody. Right. So if they send a process server, no thanks. Hey, you John Doe, nope, boom, shut the door. End of the conversation. And they can't tape it to the door and it's, I taped it to this door. I didn't see nothing on my door. That's not service of process. Service of process, you have to physically reach your hand out and accept whatever they're going to give you. Okay? And that's not what you want. Uh-oh.
I like it. So, all right. So now they start getting a little heavier on you. What do you do next? What's the next move?
Define heavy.
Well, all right. You're not accepting the mail. So what do? They come knocking at your door. Maybe the sheriff comes and maybe he says, hey, we got an arrest warrant for you not paying your child support.
Well, if you're in the system, again, not accepting the mail is very limited. All right, and they can get away with that warrant bullshit. But if you're not in the system, they can't issue a warrant to compel you to come and involuntarily attend a meeting that has nothing to do with the government. And just so everybody knows, the child support agency that operates in every state, that is not a state agency. The CPS agency that operates in every state, that is not a state agency. It's ran by the state employees, but because of the federal funding, they answer to the federal government. They are instrumentalities of the federal government. According to Corpus Juris Secundum, subsection 886, the federal government is a foreign corporation in respect to every state. All right, so the states are foreign to the federal government, and the federal government are foreign to it. It's just that, the golden rule. Federal government is handing out cash. So they're making up rules, and they're handing out a lot of it. Okay? They're handing out a lot of it.
We've had a lot of parents that are starting to get child support papers after their children have been kidnapped. Oh, now you got to pay us for stealing your kids and taking care of them.
Okay. The dumbest question is the one that people don't ask. According to what law do I have to pay you? I didn't ask you for anything. If I didn't ask you, in order to get child support, you have to fill out an application. You have to pay a $35 application fee and a $35 annual user fee along with other fees. All right. With CPS, what they do is they petition, and CPS, because they are a federal agency, they also are they have to go into contracts with these courts. And in return, they are sharing their profits with the courts. That goes into a general fund. When these judges retire, they are retiring good. Okay? That's illegal. Why should that fucker get to have his retirement after doing you wrong? No. Again, somebody needs to William Wallace these fuckers. All of them. These attorneys, these workers. I have not seen, I was looking for it the other day. I haven't seen any, and maybe you have. I haven't seen a CPS worker get killed yet.
There's been two.
Oh,
one came into the man's house,
Ooh.
said she was taking his kids,
Mhm.
and he shot her.
Oh, yes. You got, is that on YouTube?
No, it was on. No, that one's not on YouTube. But the one where the dude strangled the guy on a live, yeah, that was on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look for that.
I'll pull it up for you here. Hold on, I'll pull it up for you.
Oh yeah, Darren can find it.
Going on. You know what? Excuse me 1 second. My office manager is out the door. Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Oh, he's got a manager too, Tiff.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I love him. He needs to come. We're going to talk to him after the show.
Oh yes, we will. We certainly will. What am I looking for?
John, my videos, if you go all the way back to the beginning of my channel, you'll see like 4 or 5 videos. There's even 3 videos with my kids in CPS. I put all that up there. I don't fuck around and play. I don't play with these people. While he's gone, I went to see the sheriff the day I had to go to court for my dog. Anyway, so I went and saw the sheriff, and 2 attorneys saw me leaving, and they asked, the sheriff, oh, where have you been? And this is literally right before the election. And he said, I've just been doing my campaign. And he said, they pointed to me and said, as long as you got people like her, you will always win.
Let's see. I got it. Here it is.
All right, pull it up there.
I'm trying.
We got to make sure that goes viral.
Yeah, we'll put it up again. We'll make that happen for sure.
Yes. I think we've got one platform. We've got over 30,000 subscribers. Unfortunately, we can't post on that one anymore, but it's still up.
They took that down from you, huh?
Did they?
No, did you? You saying that the government came in and they stopped you?
No, what they did was they hacked it, so I couldn't upload any videos. But YouTube wouldn't let them take it down, so we had to start a whole new platform. No big deal.
Oh,
because the videos are still up, so they're still, it's still doing a lot of damage.
Oh, good. That's awesome. They attack us all the time, man. They'll be messing with our shows and everything. It's crazy.
I wish we could get one of them to call in.
I'm really shocked that they haven't messed with any of our stuff with you on, because trust me, we had one guy on or one girl, and we couldn't access our phones, our emails. We froze. It was bad.
I mean, I know my phones are tapped. I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, look, check this out. You can do whatever you want, but if you come over here, and you might take me with you, but I guarantee you I'm not going alone.
I hear you.
All right.
Check this one. So check this one out, Osiris. Ready for this? Check this out.
Yeah.
Video is extremely disturbing. It shows the exact moment a quiet meeting to address some family issues suddenly turns violent.
32-year-old DeAndre Johnson is facing an assault. Murder, aggravated assault.
You guys are offering services that might help.
And it's all because of what happened in this Facebook video that Johnson posted live on Tuesday. According to court records, the Valley dad wanted to document the sit-down meeting he was having with a caseworker from Arizona's Department of Child Safety to talk about his daughter. The meeting, which took place in the lobby of this DCS office in Mesa, lasted about an hour.
All right, man. All right, so we'll be in touch.
You can see the two men get up, fist bump, then the caseworker walks away. A split second later, Johnson appears to grab the state employee and put him in a chokehold.
There you go.
You was a dead man. The moment you took my daughter in that room.
More than 2 minutes go by and the caseworker doesn't appear to be moving. Eventually, you hear people in the lobby. The victim is left lying on the ground and the attacker takes off.
Child welfare is very, very difficult work.
DCA Director David Lujan says the video shows how dangerous caseworkers' jobs can be.
It's very difficult to watch. It is, I think it was really telling about that video is that the caseworker had a, more than an hour-long conversation where they're talking calmly. Things seem to be going okay. They sort of fist bump to say goodbye, and then just out of the blue, this happens.
Mesa police tell us Johnson was arrested about 3 hours later in Scottsdale after not pulling over for a traffic stop. The victim was rushed to a hospital where he reportedly told police that John threatened to kill him last, but he was able to calm the angry dad down. The incident raises new concerns about the safety of DCS staff members when they meet with parents and other family members. Earlier this year, DCS stopped providing security guards at DCS offices around the state due to budget cuts.
They had a responsibility to keep my daughter safe. They had a responsibility to keep the case aides safe.
Florence mom Erin Michael tells us this week's attack brings memories of when her then foster daughter was kidnapped and her state worker attacked visitation several years ago. She says the latest incident shows the need to step up security for caseworkers.
And especially knowing that this father had made threats a week prior to the case aide. That was the same in our case. The birth mom had made threats to the case aide and they were silent. No one did anything. To make sure that all parties were safe.
Now we're told that DCS does have protocols in place to protect caseworkers, everything from having emergency alerts on their phones to being able to request a partner when they perceive a possible threat. The agency is planning to request more funding for safety during the next legislative session. As for the caseworker, we're told his injuries were life-threatening, but thankfully he is out of the hospital and home. Back to you.
Woo.
Oh man, he lived.
Yeah, that did something. That guy hurt. Yeah, he's lived, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to look up the other one.
That's what needs to happen. You know what I mean? I think more so too.
Serious.
When they come to your house with that bullshit, pop.
Well, I'll tell you what, they come through your door without a warrant, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even a dog has a right to protect his puppies, man. Well, why'd he bite you? I picked up one of his puppies. Well, we can't put it down. It was protecting his puppies. I've seen cases like that. I had a client, his dog bit someone because they picked up the puppy, and the guy tried to sue him, and he wanted them to put the dog down. And they told him, no, the dog was protecting his puppies. But we as human beings don't have that same right? Since when?
Yeah, I say it all the time. Go ahead and try to take a baby cub out of a den and see what happens. You know, the Bible says, "Don't learn from the book, learn from nature." They'll tell you everything you need to know.
Nature is the
Even
most.
even a chickadee will try to peck you to death.
That's right.
But why are we as humans the only ones that allow our babies to be taken by some lady with a badge? She don't even have a gun.
Matter of fact, do they have badges? All they really have is a state ID, right?
Yeah, some sort of something.
They're not law enforcement officers, so they really have no right to, the sheriff's department, believe it or not, is in the executive branch. But I don't think that they have the same, they don't have that type of arrest authority like the sheriff has. And what they do is they get this bullshit rubber stamp document from a contracted judge.
Yep.
Who's giving them the impression that, yeah, you got sway, the canons law. You can persuade us to do whatever you want. These judges take bribes all day long, man.
Yeah.
Corrupt as hell. Matter of fact, I ran into a judge at a bar one time, and the fear on his face said, "You better be fucking scared. You're lucky I'm in a good mood. I'll crack your fucking skull right here on camera." I didn't care. That dude ran out of there so fast. But here's the catch. There's nothing you can do because you're not in your official capacity. You're not in the courtroom.
Right.
You're a civilian when you're out there in them streets with us. Okay. But it's ruthless what they're doing. It's evil. It's evil. I would rather spend a week in hell than go deal with these people.
Ooh, that's a week in hell must be pretty tough.
It's better, as far as I'm concerned, it's better than dealing with these clowns. Think about it.
Yeah, all right.
At least in hell you burn up quickly, but these people they make that shit last for it seems like an eternity when you talk to the anguish. You know what I'm saying, right, Tiff?
Yeah. I had this lady come home with her newborn baby, and the dad was calling me. He was frantic. And he's like, "Oh my God, they said they were coming back." I said, first of all, 90 days, no contact within 90 days, no case. Send your wife and baby on an extended vacation. And when they come back, you tell them that you are invoking, and I gave him all his rights. I texted him to him so he wouldn't get them messed up. And what they meant, he called me an hour later and was like, "They said the case was closed. Thank you very much." I said, "No problem."
Simple. Sometimes, when I tell people, when I do my videos, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is go read their shit and then turn it around and use it against them. I didn't want to tell you they're wrong. Now, let me ask you this, Tiff. What was their motif for trying to come in and kidnap his child?
Because apparently the umbilical cord test came back positive for drugs.
So the hospital called. I didn't know they tested umbilical cords.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not supposed to test anything without your consent, but they do it anyway, right? They say, and they'll test your baby too, right? They'll take the baby's blood because my kids are African American. So every African and Hispanic child born in the United States is tested for sickle cell anemia.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So
yeah.
Wow.
And then they do the PKU and they do all this other shit, right? But they're only supposed to be testing for those certain things. But what they do is they use the blood to test for other shit, but they don't tell you.
Right. And then they're also collecting DNA samples too, probably.
Yes. And now, from what I hear, because I haven't had a baby in 27 years, now they will say, "Oh, if you want to save your umbilical cord, you can freeze it for stem cells in case your child needs it later down the road."
Really? Gee, my kids were born. I never got asked that question, but this was back in the 80s and 90s, I think. So
I never. The only thing a nurse ever asked me, because I did ask her, I said, "What do you all do with the afterbirth?" And she was like, "Why, do you want it?" I said, "Ew, no." Right. And she's like, "It's in makeup, anything that says human protein is after birth. And I said, that's disgusting.
You remember that movie Fight Club?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
But you remember when he was making that soap where he was getting the materials for the soap? Remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's funny. Hollywood has a way of putting all this shit out there, and
Yes,
people
sir.
don't pay attention. They don't pay any attention. We've had issues. One of the things I always explain to men is when they're in the hospital, they have what's called a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. So if the child is born out of wedlock, the minute after that birth, they come in with that clipboard. Okay. Now, a lot of people say, well, I signed a birth certificate. You don't sign birth certificates. You sign a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity, which is a contract. Under federal law, it's called a personal responsibility contract. But they don't give them due process. They don't tell them, well, if you sign this, then, we're going to fuck you for 18 years. And the government actually calls that the magic moment. Because when we have kids, oh, it's a boy, it's a girl, we're handing out cigars. And as soon as that child comes out, here comes that nurse with that clipboard. I've had 2 incidences, one in Georgia and one in, I think it was in New Jersey. And the mother and the father both refused to sign the document. And they told them that they could not leave the hospital with that child if they didn't sign the document. So the one in Atlanta, I was actually in Atlanta at the time, and I went down to the hospital, and once I hit them with that legal shit, they were done with it. All right. The one in New Jersey, they wound up getting scared and they signed it, and whatever. But that's the problem. We're signing documents with these governments. Consent of the governed is more than just saying yes. It's driver's license. It's paying taxes. I don't care what it is, property tax, state tax. All right. That's, dealing with the government, again, is you might as well sell your soul to Satan. But I think at least Satan, you'll get a better deal because at least you get something out of it. Right. You know what I mean? Guys sell their souls to get music careers. All right, all right, fine. But at least you get something out of it. You don't get anything from signing any documents from the government unless they're, worst case, maybe some SSI or some shit like that. It's limited on the benefit to you. But driver's license and all that, that's consent. All right. The less contact you have with the government, the better off you are. The better off you are. Because people tell me, oh, you live off the grid. No, I don't. I live on the grid like you do. I just don't live in the grid that you live in. I own properties where I'm at. I don't have to pay property taxes. I don't use a driver's license. I have no state ID. None of that. I have no contact with the state or the federal government at all. And I do that on purpose because if you read the case law, the less contact you have, the better off you are, the safer you are. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that I've learned how to, to live that way. But, a lot of people, and I understand it because I didn't understand it. I've learned this through the last 40-something years. But I'm glad that I did learn it. And I learned it the hard way because when I was going through the child support bullshit, in and out of jail, and I lost everything because of these people. Right. Mm-hmm. And then I because I lost everything, I wound up having to leave and I wound up having to move in with my mother. My mind was pretty much gone. I'm like, how is this happening? And I basically, once I got all the materials that I needed, I made an apartment out of my mother's attic. And I swear, listen, when I came out that attic, remember the 10 Commandments? Yeah, my hair was down to the floor. I was smelling bad, but I knew. And after that is when I started doing what I'm doing now. And we can only, people like us, we can only do so much. We can lead a horse to the water, but we surely can't make them drink it. Okay. And I get ticked off. I tend to get sometimes, my level of anger is now based because I've been teaching this so long. It's now based. It's like, all right, you idiot. I did this 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But people they're scared, and that's what pisses me off. Case in point, I have a very good friend of mine, and her son was about to go through a child support issue, and I said, listen, don't accept the mail, just send it back, right? And I told him and her that don't accept it. Just anytime they send it, just send it back. If you do that, you're fine. What happens? Mail comes, he accepts it. goes to this dumb hearing. Now this idiot is paying $890 or close to $1,000 a month. Now he comes to me and says, well, can you help me? I said, no. I tried to help you.
Right.
And it wouldn't have cost you nothing to send the mail back.
Yep.
Then this is what really cracked me up. After I told him I couldn't help him, he hired a lawyer. I said, a lawyer's not going to help you. He says, how do you know? I said, because under 42 U.S.C. 666, it was the American Bar Association that approved Title 4D for the 93rd Congress in 1975. Now you're going to go to the same people that enacted the law to screw you over and ask them for help? Knock yourself out. Idiots.
Stupid people.
Literally, man. I mean, this guy, I see him. I just saw him a couple of days ago, and he looks terrible, man. His spirit is broken. He doesn't even get to see his kids.
Oh.
He ain't got no money, and he got laid off, and he didn't realize that they're going to take his unemployment and his tax returns. They take everything, all by accepting mail. All right.
All you have to do, Deidre, is put return to sender on that bitch. I do it all the time.
Well, you know what I do is I go one step further. I tell them put it in a bigger envelope, don't open it, all right, and then send it back to them certified mail. And now you got a receipt of it. Well, we never got it back. You're a liar because your little mail clerk signed for it. Nice try.
Mm-hmm.
You want to cover your ass at all bases because these people are liars.
And then that's mail fraud too, right? Is that mail fraud?
Legally, yes. Under Title 18, yes, it is mail fraud. But the average Johnny Donut does not know that.
Right.
It's sending out correspondent with the mail with the attempt to scheme. I forget how they word it, but it's mail fraud. It literally is. You're right on point with that one, Punisher. So
sounds like blackmail.
I wouldn't call it blackmail, but it is. It's just mail fraud. It really is. It's
blackmail. You either pay this fucking debt or we're gonna put your ass in jail. It's blackmail.
Yeah. Extortion. That's what I'm thinking.
Extortion. That's the word.
Yeah, extortion is what I'm thinking.
There's the word.
Yeah. It's legalized extortion. But what makes it even more fun for them is they're making a ton of money off 66 cents on the dollar. Title 4E funding is like 66 cents on the dollar. They get the same amount as child support, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a few cents different here, but it's all the same. It just goes to different bank accounts.
Mm-hmm. Like for every dollar they spend, they get $5 back.
Right, exactly. It's pretty much the same across the board. Title 4A, D, and E, if I'm not mistaken. And then what they'll do, I've noticed in title of these cases where they snatch the kids, a lot of times I've seen them put the kids with relatives, which is some really taunting shit. You know what I mean? Now I have seen cases where there have been cases of severe child abuse, all right, which is not a good thing. And in a case like that, yeah, okay, go on and take them and protect them. But don't just take them because you want to, you want the federal funding.
Yeah, the minute a child is removed from the home, they get their money. I told you on our last one that these fools sent my daughter child support papers the day we were supposed to go to court. They filed for child support because on their little paper, and I still have all this, they checked that this child was in state custody. That child, not 1 second, not 1 minute, not one nothing left his parents' care. But guess what? The state got that money. They got that money.
It's all about the money, honey. We all know that. I don't know about you, but I don't work for free. You know what I mean? But it's just a sick method on which they use it. And a lot of times, I've seen a lot of the videos. I just watched the video last week where the two ladies locked on the guy's door and they had two cops and this guy tore them a new asshole.
Good.
I was rooting for the guy. I was all aroused. I literally was. So, come here, woman. You know what I mean? But he tore them a new asshole. And guess what? They took the walk of shame. When they sat there and they lied, oh, we're this and this and that and that. I said, man, stop talking about there and smack both these bitches. You know, they got the cops in the background, and the cops were in the background. They wouldn't even come close to the door. You know what I mean? But they left, and I've been seeing more and more of that happen. But it's oh well, somebody called us. You know, what even gives other? So where? I mean, this is one thing I want to know. Is it coming from a call? We got a concerned neighbor or something. We just want to check on the well. What is it that prompts these people to go and do this shit?
Well, some of it is mandated reporters, right? If they believe, and I want that word out. You can't believe anything. You have to know. That's because I work with the legislative body here in Virginia to reform CPS and foster care. And two of the words that I want out is assume and believe, right? So the doctors and hospitals, we all know they have contracts with them. So they'll call and say, we believe this child is being abused. So CPS will come.
Okay.
And this is what I tell people. If you're calling CPS because you're mad at somebody, I hope you have kids, because I hope CPS takes your fucking kids. You don't use them as a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
But that's the majority of it, right? But the Supreme Court of the United States has said you cannot remove a child, one, absent a warrant, and two, without exigent or imminent danger. So now, because we've been teaching all this, now there's exigent circumstances, there's immediate danger, there's imminent danger. So they've been using that. And when I went to talk to the sheriff, the one that I like, I told him straight up, if any of your deputies remove a child, one, without a warrant, and two, without exigent circumstances or imminent danger, you have now broken the law and you can be sued.
So no qualified immunity?
Nope. They lose everything.
That's a good thing. Are there any lawsuits pending against these clowns?
Well, apparently we also work with an investigative reporter, and in one of our meetings with the family court warriors, their investigative reporter said there's actually RICO cases out there right now against CPS and the judges and the lawyers. So we'll see what happens.
That is what do you call that? Continuing a pattern of racketeering activity. If you look at it,
yep,
really look at it. And that's sick. I see. Oh wow, you're getting a lot of. I got you up on two screens. I guess a lot of people are. Let's see. We missed the beginning. All right. Well, so let me do this. A lot of people are asking about this child support thing. You mind if I elaborate on that really fast?
No, do it up, man. Do it up.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to. Let me see if I can find it. I'll do a screen share and I'll explain to everybody what's going on here. And let's go here. All right. And then I'll wait for you to pop that up on your side.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Oh, Alicia's back there. Do you want to see if she wanted to come out and ask her questions?
Sure, that's fine.
After you do this screen share thing?
Okay.
All right, yeah. Alicia, if you heard that, you could come out next.
Okay, everybody, as far as child support is concerned, all right, Title 4D it's called child support. All right, number one, it doesn't exist by the United States Supreme Court. And number two, it is 100% contractual. All right, under 45 CFR 302.34, it says cooperative arrangements. All right, we're going to scroll down here a little bit. Oh, too far. And it says the state plan, all right, pay attention to that word, shall provide that the state will enter into contracts which are reflected in the record for cooperative arrangements under 303.107 terms with appropriate courts, law enforcement officials, district attorneys, sheriffs, attorneys general. All right. So everything that these people are doing, they are doing contractually. Okay. And on top of that, we don't need to read the whole thing because it's really bullshit. All right. But they also pay these people for their assistance. The 4D agency that operates in every state, folks, is not a state agency. It is a single and separate agency. And if you break down those words in the legal Bible, which is called Black's Law, it means a lone, detached, and disconnected organizational unit. The 4D agency is within usually the social services or human services umbrella agency. And an umbrella agency is an agency that acts as employer to agency contractors who work on a fixed contract assignment. Now, what I'm going to do, we're going to go here. All right, I'm going to use Ohio's. Okay. And okay, every state has to have a 4D contract. We can't open a McDonald's and call it McDonald's if we don't have a contract with McDonald's giving us permission. Would you agree? Okay. So yes. That being said, they have to go into a contract. Now, it says this rule, we're going to read this right here, and I'll get through this fast. It says this rule in the supplemental rule describes the process by which the 4D agency enters into a 4D contract with a governmental entity. All right. So this tells you if the 4D agency enters into a contract with the governmental entity, the government doesn't contract with itself. Okay. The 4D agency is not a state agency, and they provide 4D services. And here it is. And for the 4D agency to receive federal financial reimbursement to offset the purchase of services under that contract. So when they suspend the license, that's a contract between the 4D agency and the Division of Motor Vehicles. When they put out a warrant, that warrant is basically they're giving the courts bribes. Okay. So earlier we were talking and she said, "Oh, I want the court." And I said, "There's no such thing as court." And here's your proof. Okay. We're going to go down to here. All right. These are called contractors. Okay. A contractor is a governmental entity with whom this 4D agency enters into a contract. Now, I love this part. Governmental entity includes these entities right here: court, prosecutor, law enforcement, sheriff's office, clerk of court, recorder's office, treasurer's office, any other public official. All right. If we go down to 7, a 4D contract means a mutual binding legal relationship obligating a governmental entity to provide 4D services in 4D cases and perform other administrative duties of the 4D agency that pertain to a 4D case in return for payment by the 4D agency. Now, I'm going to show you why that's a problem. We're going to go down to line 13. All right. Private entity means a company or organization or individual that does not meet the definition of a governmental entity. All right. If you go back up to line 4, you will notice that the 4D agency is not listed as a governmental entity. Okay. It is a private entity. Now, I'll do one more and then we'll hand it back over. So when it comes to child support, well, let me see. There it is. Hold on. This is an actual child support contract. Again, I'm using Ohio's because theirs is the best, okay? This is a 4D contract. We're going to go down to line 18. All right, I'll spare you all the details with it. It says right here, I love this part. Independent capacity for the contractor, which is the judge. All right, the contractor and his agents, employees, and subcontractors will act in performance of this 4D contract in an independent capacity and not as officers or employees or agents of the state or the 4D agency. So if this court is not, if this judge is not an officer, employer, or agent of the state, where's the court order coming from? All right, that's all it is. Okay, they are not who they say that they are. I'll send you a link to that for you guys if you want.
Yeah, I want Virginia's.
I'm not sure if we have Virginia's. Now, some of them are online, and what's happening is because we've been exploiting these contracts, they have taken them off. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, you can always do a FOIA request. All right, you can FOIA the. We just did one in Illinois. We got the contract, the court's contract, the clerk of the court's contract, the sheriff's contract, and we also got a dismissal because when my client started asking for those contracts, they said, "Oh, this case is dismissed," because they already know what's coming next. So, and not to mention, since they're not officers, employees, or agents of the state or the 4D agency, that means they don't get any immunity.
Wow. And
they can be sued. And we have a couple of lawsuits pending right now. Okay.
That's great.
And one more thing I want to show you, and I love this. I'm working on a case in where's it at? I think I still got it up here. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna share this with you. Now, you really want to get a good laugh?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, check this out. The 4D agency is in fact a business for profit. Okay, and it profits from customers. All right, check this out. Everybody see this? Learn about child support services. Now, this is what I want to show you. Hey, Tiff, do me a favor. Could you read this for everybody, please?
No, I can't read. It's too small.
Okay. It says, if you apply for 4D services, both you and the other parent become our customers.
Wow.
Okay. All right. If you go to any state website, and it could be anything, Division of Motor Vehicles, Child Support, CPS, you will always see that word customer. Okay.
Wow.
If you can't be compelled to be a customer of a business that profits, a business for profit against your will. It's a violation of the First Amendment and the 14th Amendment, and all the amendments, actually. All right.
It's funny you say that. I have a picture. I took a picture in the child support office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says, we do our best to help our customers. And if you have any complaints about our customer service, they had a little box, right? You can drop your little, it says, put your complaint in here.
That's right.
I said, I told you you were a customer.
I mean, imagine this. Imagine Walmart going into a contract with a court or 7-Eleven. And now all of a sudden you're getting a letter from the court, right? And it says on a Thursday at 9 a.m., you're going to come to Walmart. And this judge is going to say, well, Walmart says you haven't shopped here. So I'm going to place an order and you have to come to Walmart and spend $500 every 2 weeks. It's the same shit. Okay. It's disgusting. CPS is the same thing. Because it's, look, child protective services. What is a service? A service is something that is offered. An offer is presented for acceptance or rejection. All right. So,
and they like to use the word referrals. Well, we got a referral. We got a referral. Bitch, didn't nobody refer you over here?
My favorite one, Tiff, is, I know you know this one. Yes, enroll in the program.
Enroll,
enroll in CPS services. And again, I just find it disgusting that, I mean, it's bad enough that it's disgusting that they're doing what they're doing, but I find it more disgusting that these fucking cowards aren't fighting back.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and for those of you who are insulted, you should be, because I meant that literally. You're cowards. All right. Like we said it earlier, a dog will protect his puppies. Okay. Protect your kids. Protect your money. Protect your property.
It's only going to take one time for someone to pick up that this happens to get on that news, and that will be it. It'll take one time, you know.
You notice how, when certain movie stars, right? You see them on movies, but then one of them contracts AIDS, and all of a sudden they're a spokesman for the AIDS Foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Alicia. Right. Hey, here's Alicia. Alicia made it back. Alicia, you there? You're muted there, dear.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Hi. We're going to talk. I just want to ask more about this. When my husband got served his child support, they didn't actually serve my husband. They served me because my husband was out of town.
Okay. That's they can do that. You can serve a person in the house under service of process rules. I can't remember the number, but you can serve anybody from 14 and up.
Okay. So that was a legal way for serving. I didn't know if it was or not, but
yeah, it's still bullshit.
Wait, yeah, all of it is.
And so one more thing, Alicia. Because you're married, you're considered one anyway.
Correct.
Well, we weren't married at the time,
but you're still a consenting adult above the age of 14. So that's how they do it under service process.
Gotcha.
What was your other question?
So he went in to court. It was to go over the child support thing. So when he had first gotten divorced, they had 3 kids listed, his first 3 from his marriage, listed at the very beginning on all the paperwork. There was not one piece of paper from the time they started the divorce and did the custody agreement, child support, all that, that there were not 3 kids on there. So they issued him the first time, it was $1,250 a month for child support.
Okay.
With no job, because they took his ex-wife's word that he had made so much and he did not.
Okay.
He had a contract he was supposed to make so much, but they never paid out on that contract.
Okay. Okay.
And the judge told him that he wasn't going to listen to my husband because my husband didn't have an attorney.
Okay. Well, number one, that wasn't a judge. That was a contractor, as we just showed. Number 2, Title 4D under 42. Now, I'm going to give you something. Title 4D, it runs under the mark of the beast. It runs under 42 USC 666. Okay. And under A3C, it identifies a non-custodial pay rent by the Social Security number. Okay. Now, that is a requirement. So what it is, Title 4D is a lien, just like with CPS, it's a lien placed on the Social Security number. The cool part is, and we do this all the time, because it's a lien placed on the Social Security number, all right, most people don't realize that they don't own that Social Security number. Remember I asked you earlier if you have one, you said you don't own it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Social Security number is the property of the Social Security Administration. So when they place that lien on that Social Security number, all right, legally, the Social Security Administration is required to pay that lien off. A lot of people don't realize that. And the Social Security Administration, under a contractual agreement with the Federal Office of Child Support, allows them to use that Social Security number in order for them to federally fund the program. So basically, you can take any, like, oh, there's arrears, okay, and you send that shit to the Social Security Administration. Hey, there's a lien on your property. You need to pay that. Now, this is also known as a voluntary lien because there's 2 types of liens. There's a voluntary lien and involuntary lien. A voluntary lien comes from like a car note or a mortgage and things of that nature. Involuntary liens come from court orders, supposedly. All right. But that court order is based off of a non-custodial pay rent, right, which is positively identified by a Social Security card. All right. So once all he has to do is he can send a notice of lien to the Social Security Administration and tell them, hey, there's a lien on your property. Because anything that the 4D agency does, the Social Security number is the key piece of information around which their system works. And if you look up the word key, it means indefinite description of property made certain. Okay. Wording is everything. All right. I am a Black's Law scholar. I tear down every word. So therein lies the problem. So when your husband or your fiance, when he walked into that hearing, he didn't walk in there as a Genesis 1:26 man created by the Creator. He walked in there as a non-custodial pay rent, which is the property of the Social Security Administration. And because it's property, he has no rights. Non-custodial parents do not have rights because they are not the creation of the Creator. And I noticed you said it, Punisher, earlier. You said parent. That word parent is one of the more widely used words. Well, I'm not a parent. I'm a man who has created offspring. I'm a creator. Okay? Men are creators and women bear their creation. All right. All you have to do is just change the word. Well, parents of the children. Children in CPS and child support are positively identified by a Social Security number. That's why we call them non-custodial pay rents.
Pay rents, yep.
Parent. It ain't parent. It's PA-RENT. You're
right,
paying rent for the Social Security Administration's property. And that's all they're doing is placing a lien on it. So your man just basically, because he's ignorant of his rights and the law, he got bamboozled.
Oof.
And he can go in and stop that.
Did then?
Huh?
They went in and she went back to file because you can file like once every 3 years, I guess, for an increase or something.
Right,
yeah.
modification.
So she went to and had it modified and had her attorney state that he was only being charged for 2 children.
Okay.
On child support.
Okay. Again, going back to the social, and I hope everybody's listening. All you got to do is go back to the Social Security number. If you go to the child support website in every state, in order to obtain child support, even though they'll say it's a court order, all right, legally it's not. All right, but what happens is that customer has to fill out a child support application. Everybody on that application is positively identified, and if you look, it says name, first name, last name, middle initial, and the very next thing is Social Security number. That's why I said earlier that's the mark of the beast. Okay, so because the children are identified by a Social Security number, and because the custodial parent, now it changes, custodial parent as opposed to non-custodial pay rent. The custodial parent, who is also a customer, okay, they are identified by a Social Security number. Under the Constitution, the court shall be open to every man for injury done him in his lands, good person, and reputation, and he shall have remedy by due course of law without self-denial and justice, without self-denial or delay. Okay? How can property which has no rights go in and get remedy from a court? I have shut so many cases down. Well, sir, she's nothing. This is her identification on your paper. She's property. Property doesn't have rights. She cannot get remedy in this court. And also, I want you to realize, I mean, she has a private attorney. That's one thing. All right, but the child support agency, all right, does not represent their customer. They represent the financial interest of the agency. Okay, so basically, what he needs to do, I mean, tell him he can check out our website. He can schedule. We give classes. I give classes all the time. We get the 4D library out. If he wants this case dismissed, we help with that.
What is your website again, Osiris? What is your website?
I don't have a website. I'm sorry. It's just check me out on YouTube or email me at I don't know if I can let's see. You know what I'll do? How about this? I'll put the email in your link here. And it's there it is.
Yeah, because he's got the other issues that we talked about before the show. I'm not going to talk about them on this show, but
yeah. The issue is, sis, and I want everybody within the sound of my voice to hear this. The issue is ignorance. All right, ignorance of your rights and ignorance of the words that are being spoken to you by these tyrants who don't give a rat's ass about you or your kids. Okay, there is a case law. I don't know if you've heard about it, Tiff. It's called Blessing versus Freestone. And it's it was I think it's in 1989. All right, the United States Supreme Court clearly stated that Title 4D was never intended to benefit individual children or their parents. There's no right to it, and there's no entitlement to the service. So why are they even calling it child support? That's false advertisement. That's fraud.
There's also another one. It's United States versus Sage, and the Supreme Court of the United States has said that child support is no different than a car note and a student loan.
Yeah. We Hunt versus Ledbetter. The 11th Circuit in Georgia said that they were never the intended beneficiary. Women and children, women and their kids were never the intended beneficiaries of the statute. Okay? So, I mean, right then and there, it tells you it's all fraud. But the problem is, the biggest problem, I just did a video about 3 days ago, and it says your ignorance equals 4D profit. And that's exactly what it is. And your ignorance also equals CPS profits. All right. More importantly, lack of a pair of balls and a heart and weapons.
Yes, lots of them.
Even if you forego the weapons, but lack of knowledge, and it's just ignorance. All right. And if you look up the word ignorance, all right, it's basically, it just means ignore the fact. And Tiff, earlier you said they say, well, they use the word believe. If you break down the word believe, BE-LIE, dash VE. The word lie is smack dab in the middle of it.
Right.
Sure is. Darren, can you say hi to your number one fan, please?
Hey, buddy. Hey, there he is.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
You say hi?
There's a supermodel.
Hello.
Yeah. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Darren.
buddy.
Hi,
How you doing?
Darren. Say fine. Bye. Bye. Say bye.
Bye, buddy. Bye, bud.
Beautiful.
That's my number one fan right there, baby.
You know, I was talking to my grandkids earlier, and I told their mom, I said, now you know why lions eat their young.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So, hey, what about, and Alicia, I hope I didn't cut you off there, but what do we do about if a parent has their kids have death benefits, so they're already covered, and by multiple ways. What if they start trying to collect child support from those parents?
Was that for me or Alicia?
No, that was for you.
Oh,
that's like double dipping, right? That's double dipping.
Can you ask that one more time? I'm sorry.
So we have a parent that has their father had passed away. So these kids get all the Social Security benefit, the death benefits from that. Well, CPS has taken the kids, and now they've taken the all of the death benefits on top of it. Plus, now they're requiring them to provide insurance and child support.
Oh yeah, that's the double dipping. I'm trying to think of the legal word for that shit, but no, that should be illegal. That should be illegal. Again, I've done CPS cases. I have not done one in about 15 years. So it's not as I'm not as fluent in the CPS as I am with the child support.
Right.
But it's theft. It's a pattern of
racketeering,
if you ask me. And like you said, it's double dipping. I mean, you're getting paid on both ends, man. These guys, maximizing funds.
Yeah.
Shit. That sounds like the car dealership. They built these shitty cars so you can keep bringing it back to the dealership.
Man.
So yeah, that's now this is the bad part though. This is the really bad part, and this is where the violence, the war needs to come in. There's nobody who regulates this shit. There's no oversight for it. The courts are all running it. So you can't, you're gonna go to the chief judge and say, oh man, they're doing this, and look, man, you know my retirement looks like from this shit. I'm not helping. The legislature ain't going to help because they're the ones who passed the bullshit laws in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like being trapped in a glass box. So again, the war's got to come, folks.
Yeah, it sure does.
Worst case, you got to get creative. You got to find out where these people live. All right, you got to put fear, because here's the catch: if they're too scared to go to work, how are they going to be taking your kids? If they're too scared to go to work, how are they going to be operating computers to do child support or go to child support court? If they're too scared to leave their house, all right?
Yeah, good call.
You have to be violent with them, but guess what? You can scare the tar off, scare the dog poop out of them. All right, it's time to get creative. No, I quit. Yeah. Case in point, I bet you that cocksucker we saw get choked out. I wonder if he still works there.
Probably got promoted.
I bet you won't be taking nobody else's kids though. But that's what needs to happen, and it's a shame because, he went to jail, right?
Yeah, they're charging him with murder and second-degree murder or attempted murder or something.
Yeah, attempted murder.
Okay, but here's the catch. Now, with the proper defense. All right, that's a temporary insanity plea.
Yep.
Right? That's just like, hey man, I was home. I was laying on the couch. I woke up. The guy was standing in front of me, eating my damn snacks, and I sleep with a couple under my pillows. My girlfriend, oh my God, why is this under here? I said, but yeah, and I woke up and I saw this stranger, and I put a couple in him. Yeah. Now you gonna charge me with murder? You have the right. You have the castle doctrine, right? Florida has stand your ground laws, things of that nature. You have to invoke these different types of laws that basically work in your favor. And because you're dealing with a jury trial, I've done in my career, I've done 4 jury trials, and I've won all 4 of them. And basically, when I talk to the jury, I always tell them, listen, brothers and sisters of the jury, number one, I know you're getting screwed over today because you got to miss work and, you got to pay bills. But, but this, don't consider this a court case. Consider this a lesson, because it could be one of your children or you standing here pleading for you for help.
Right.
And if it's done right, he can beat that, like with his eyes closed. A proper strategy, but wrong is wrong. And again, I don't care. Again, if it's warranted, the kids are being abused. Yes, by all means, because no child should be abused. All right, I've seen cases where the mother has left home, and 4 little kids. She's out partying and left for a week.
Yeah. That lady, that's crazy.
Right, but just because you get a call from the hospital stating, oh well, there's weed in the bloodstream or some shit like that, that don't endanger your child. Shit, little THC probably make them smarter, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Talking about ADD, no THC, just give them a shot.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get off child support. It's not complicated. I was answering the question. I didn't realize these are questions coming across the screen here. Eric Padilla, yes, you can get off child support. Check me out on YouTube. We have a channel. I put the email on the screen. Everybody out here, you can remove child support from your life. Okay. It'll be complicated at first, because if you don't have the proper knowledge on how the program works, all right, then that's what happens. Oh, speaking of which, you've heard of the Child Support Enforcement Program, right? Okay. Under the federal manual, the federal glossary of common child support terms, they have their own language. It defines the child support program as a federal and state partnership. Black's Law's Dictionary defines a partnership as an association of 2 or more persons as co-owners of a business for profit. And if you look on any child support website, you will always find customer service. Okay? You have rights, folks, and the worst thing you can do with a right is not use them. And Healing with Sam, aloha. Hey, Shaka, sister, Kanioi in the house. I lived in Hawaii for 20 years. All right, so yeah, it's you have to exercise your rights. And sometimes if you got to fight somebody, you know what I mean? Listen, Tiff, now, Punisher, I don't know about y'all, but I done been to the county jail plenty of times. Okay? Because I'll knock a cop out in a minute. I don't care. All right? I'll smack a clerk of court in the mouth in a New York heartbeat. I don't care. If you're not willing to do what it takes, folks, all right, you're going to have to lose the fear. I don't care if it's CPS, child support. I don't care what it is. And I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Anytime you voluntarily deal with the government, you are selling your soul to something worse than Satan. These people make Satan look like a gay choir boy. Literally.
For real.
They make Satan look softer than drugstore cotton. And like I said, you make a deal with the devil, at least you get something out of it. Not with these pukes.
Yeah, not with child support court. No way. Not with any of these things.
Or CPS. None of it. Yeah.
None of it.
One of my favorites is traffic court. Oh, I love traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic court is so fun. Well, sir, you were driving without a license. Well, let's see. So this is traffic court? Yes. Well, traffic means commercial. Driving means you're hired. You know what I mean? It's just the wording. You have to learn what these words mean. Now, here's the deal. Well, you were driving with an expired license. Well, if the license expired, so did the privilege. Now I'm exercising the right to travel. So it's
that's
all
awesome.
wording.
Yep.
Okay.
And those things work for you, right? That works for you when you go in? When you've been in the court, you've won?
Oh, yeah. I've never lost a case.
Wow.
Never lost one. You know, when I was, back in the day when I was ignorant, like everybody else, sure, I lost. Right. But can you see behind me here?
Yes, sir.
All right, that is the state legislated laws. I have every last one of their law books, and I can tell you what's on every page of them. All right, I read their stuff more than they do, and I always get asked, "What are you, a lawyer?" It's like, how bad do you want to find out what I am? Okay, me and my office manager, who's also my girlfriend, we've been together 11 years. And again, I don't use driver's license, and we've been stopped. And she always looks like, "Oh, we're going to jail." I mean, she has a license, but I don't. And I drive a Corvette, and it never fails. The cops get mad, just get the fuck out of here, because I beat them up with their own laws.
Right.
Right. There's nothing that they can do. I'm not obligated to go and purchase a piece of paper that says that I can use the roads that were actually built for me to use in the first place. So it's all a matter of knowing your rights, and more importantly, it's all a matter of knowing their shit. I don't care if it's CPS. And the reason I knew about CPS, because again, I did like 4 cases back in my day. They are a pain in the butt. They really are. They're a pain in the ass. That's why I don't do them anymore, because they're a pain in the ass. And again, they're expensive. Now, if Holly Berry called me,
yeah,
talk about
give me more, yeah,
okay, I got you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
The website, the YouTube channel is going to be up there, but you're going to find me on the beach somewhere wearing rubber fatty in my mouth with a straw hat. Hey. But
we have this one question here. Maybe you can answer this to help out classic CPS corruption. She wants to know, why would the judge delay a dad's legitimization?
Why would he?
Why would they?
Profit. Legitimization is basically paternity. Remember earlier I told you paternity establishment?
Yep.
All right. So without paternity establishment, they can't get child support. Now, if there's an issue, like maybe the guy's he's denying, that's not my child, or I have my doubts, whatever,
right?
Something like that. But most of the time, 99% of the time, 100% of the time, they have to get that first. And New York calls it legitimization. All right, but everybody else calls it acknowledgement of paternity. But if they're delaying it, then that means that he's more than likely probably fighting it, which works out for him.
Right.
If you ask me, because again, my biggest thing is, how does a perfect stranger get to come and take your kids? How does a perfect stranger get to tell you how much a month you're gonna pay your kids? And on top of that, you're not paying her, you pay them.
Yep.
And they send it to her. That's stupid.
Yep. And the thing is, we do it. We let them take our kids, and we pay these bills.
Yeah. All right. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. People again. It may sound like I'm promoting violence, and I am, but if you can get creative, and again, everybody, we have to come together as one. Okay, that's what has to happen. Because again, if you got 10,000 people blocking the CPS building, right, front and back, ain't nobody going in here today. Okay, if you got, and I tell everybody, if everybody in the state took the license plates off their car, right, and then took their driver's license and went down to the motor vehicle and put them all in a pile, what can they do about that?
Right.
Nothing. Okay. Nothing at all. And you think, they got cops. After a while, you got all these people, no license plates on the car, right? You got all these cops out on the road. You think they can't stop everybody. So it's a matter of again, just we're the ones, we're letting them get away with it. Punisher, it's not good.
Not at all. We are, and we need to stop it. Speaking of stopping it, I think that Tiff's I know she wanted to talk with you backstage, so I think we should cut this out now. Let's say goodnight to everybody here, and then if you don't mind, Osiris, want to hang out with us for a second backstage so she can chat?
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Everybody who tuned in, it's an honor to meet you all. I hope that you got something here that can help you, but get together with the people in your state and rally the people and come together as one and steamroll these cocksuckers.
That's damn right, man. That's damn right. That's what we've been saying. That's been the verb.
you know.
All right, everybody, have a good night. We will see you all tomorrow.
This corruption is going to stop. It's pushing good people over the top. It's causing pain they don't deserve. These fucking judges, what a nerve. I can smell the smoke in the air. People losing their lives every day. We can't stand for this bullshit game. It's time to light this shit on fire. Let's burn the bitch down. They take our lives. Let's burn the bitch down. It should be no surprise. Let's burn the bitch down. They deserve what they get. Let's burn the bitch down. There is no regret. They're taking kids, ruining their future, making dads run scared through the fire. The courts destroying families, they're such a liar. When the days turn into the nights, they give up, they have no fight. When you break the man, you take his soul. When you take his child, consider yourself told. Let's burn the bitch down. They cause our pain. Let's burn the bitch down. We're not insane. Let's burn the bitch down. They had their chance. Let's burn the bitch down. We show our stance. We won't stand for this anymore. Here I am, let's settle the score. I don't wanna bust your balls. Your Honor, you need to fall. You lie almost every day. Pissed off parents are on their way. You can get away with this anymore. Run scared when they pound on the door. You think this is a joke? You'll know better when you smell the smoke. We won't stand for this anymore. We are parents headed to war. Let's burn the bitch down. Whoa. Let's burn the bitch down. Whoa. Let's burn the bitch
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?